Principle 3, we must start to teach sex education before contamination sets in. Many times I've seen people argue that, I shouldn't teach about marriage so early, and some people would advocate that I start teaching sex education at age 5 and teach about marriage when the child is 18. If you are deciding to teach your child sex education at age 5 and your child is molested or loses their virginity at age 3, allow me to tell you a secret. If you do not teach your child, I guarantee you somebody else will. We're now living in a time where 4-year-old Johnny is going to school to try out tomorrow what he saw on television last night. And who knows, maybe he's trying it on your son or your daughter. Sometimes we become so concerned about what everybody else thinks that we forget to address some of the most important issues in life. For example, and say it with me, it's a 3-letter word. It's called sex. Sex education is probably the most ignored topic in the traditional household. For countless generations, the subject has been avoided and even frowned upon by most people, especially the religious. We now live in a time when parents are not only afraid to touch the topic of sex, but they are equally afraid to tell their children what they should and shouldn't watch on television. That's right. Parents are afraid to tell their children what to watch on television. Today, we are going to explore sex education God's way. What should we do before we have sex? What should we do before we have children? Get married. The fact of the matter is, if marriage is the prerequisite for sex, if marriage is the prerequisite for having children, then it is illogical to teach sex education without teaching marriage. And therein lies another problem. You have many schools who teach sex education, but many of them fail to mention even the concept of marriage. Let's explore this model just a little bit more. In verse 14 of Deuteronomy 22, it says, if a man took a wife and give occasion of speech against her, and bring up an evil name upon her, and say, I took this woman, and when I came to her, I found her not a maid or a virgin, then shall the father of the damsel and her mother take and bring forth the tokens of the damsel's virginity. Principle number 4. In females, virginity can be demonstrated or refuted. The point is, it is therefore very important that couples coming together be very honest. There's nothing worse than you marrying a man and one of your old partners being the first to inform him about your previous lifestyle. So the point is, you need to be honest. If you are deciding to teach your child sex education at age 5, and your child is molested or loses their virginity at age 3, allow me to tell you a secret. If you do not teach your child, I guarantee you somebody else will. We're now living in a time where 4-year-old Johnny is going to school to try out tomorrow what he saw on television last night. And who knows, maybe he's trying it on your son or your daughter.